Hello, dear friends. This is the first online Spiritist Youth Forum. Yes, it is. And you may be asking, why the first? Because it hasn't existed before. No, there wasn't. It's the first time. Why? Because it's about time. That's how we can explain it to you. It's about time to put faces in our Spiritist youth around the world. And of course, if you're watching this and you're willing to participate, you can write to us at cardiacradio@gmail.com. And if we are not able to put you into the forum today, there will be a second forum in June, on June 9, which is going to be a Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern time in the United States, right? So welcome everyone, and Elsa Rossi is here with us. Elsa, you have been an author of Spiritist books for children and youth, and we count on your support because you've been supporting the youth all along. It would be fantastic if we had you here during the first International Spiritist Youth Weekend on July 6 to 8. It's going to be fantastic. The program is being shaped up and it just looks beautiful. And Anna from Alabama is here with us, and we hope your daughter and you're going to be here in July, right, Anna? Marcos de Clay, Marcos Magalhães. As far as I'm seeing friends here, but I'll be able to see more of you. So, what is the goal behind this forum? It's not only to chat for chatting. No, no. It's actually to give an opportunity for the generation that is coming along to speak, to be listened, and also to share things that we need to do and likely we're not doing because we probably don't share the same view, which is normal. Jesus himself was a mediator, we would say, between the old and the young. There is a beautiful chapter in the book Good News, which is already in English, awaiting its publication by the Brazilian Spiritist Federation. The book Boa Nova. There is a chapter titled Young and Old. And it was beautiful because Humberto de Campos, the author, through Chico Xavier, talks about when Peter and John, representing the old and the younger disciple, they they were like bickering in some ways. Some because they thought, well, we're the young ones, we're gonna be the ones carrying the torch when Jesus goes away. And Peter was like, but I am the one with the master all the time. It doesn't make any sense. You don't have a family. So there's a point in the chapter we get to know how Peter gets to be counseled by Jesus, which is a message for us. Jesus goes and advises the older one on how to be compassionate, kind, gentle, understanding with the younger ones, and to give way to them. And later, we get to know how they learned to work together. So for us today, the lesson is very current. It's for us an opportunity to collaborate, to facilitate, because the older generations are here really to make room for the younger ones. We can no longer put ourselves apart and separate ourselves. The best program is the program of apprenticeship, and that's why we are here at Cardiac Radio supporting the teens who have been in several Spiritist centers around the world. And the first effort is here in this forum today, and you're invited to join us. And if you want to participate again, send a message to cardiacradio@gmail.com and we'll communicate with you. And if you want to participate on the second forum, it's going to be on June 9 at 11 a.m. here at Cardiac Radio. And today we would like to begin by talking about an effort that started 2 years ago. with a beautiful soul, Beatriz Lopes. She's here with us. She's from the group On the Way to the Light in Connecticut. She's 19 now, but she started the efforts of Cardiac Radio for Teens when she was just 17. And she's here with us. I'd like to introduce you to her, and we can put a face to the voice who has been with us. How are you, Bia?
Good. How are you?
How has it been working at Cardiac Radio for Teens these years?
It's been crazy how long it's been. It feels like it's been a short amount of time, and then I look at it and it's been a few years already. And not only through Cardiac Radio for Teens, not only have I been able to spread Spiritism, but I've also learned a lot myself and studied a lot myself. And I continue to learn more and more as I'm trying to help teach other people and talk to it with other people. I'm learning more myself and growing myself. So it's been really great.
Can you tell us, for those who are not acquainted with it, can you tell a little bit about what you've been doing through the programs, just the format, what you've been doing throughout the years?
So for Cardiac Radio for Teens, it's half hour each week on Tuesday nights that it goes live, but it is saved, so you can listen to them at any time. And what I've been doing is going through the Spirits book together and reading it page by page, question by question, and trying to understand not only what the question is asking, but also what the answer is saying and what comments are saying, and trying to understand it as best as we can at this time.
So working on the Spirits book, for example, for teens.
Yes.
The Spirits book, even for adults, though it's a fantastic book, it's not an easy book at all. It's not an easy book at all. Easy in the sense of like it's very comprehensive. How have you been able to break it down for this different age group? What is your strategy?
So one thing I find that helps a lot for even people of all ages is to break it down into a way that kind of relates to simpler examples that we have in life. Because sometimes in the Spirit book, they're talking about big, grand concepts or even the time period of back then. So it's kind of bringing in little examples that we can relate to in our daily lives and start working on understanding those little circumstances to move on to the bigger things.
So, Bia, I'm going to bring now Kara and Mark, because Kara and Mark Smith have been with us since the first days of Cardiac Radio, right?
Hello, Bia.
Hello, friends.
How are you, Kara and Mark?
We are honored to be here in this history-making moment.
Yay. Wonderful to have you guys here, and you've been true troopers in this effort of Cardiac Radio for Teens.
Yes.
You have been educators at the University of Delaware. You have, both of you have PhDs that are founded in education as well. And you have been working with youth all these years. We don't want to tell many years because you're still young.
For your kindness, Vanessa.
But tell us a little bit about the efforts of Cardiac Radio for Teens that the three of you have been working together.
We are honored to be working with Bia, first of all, for her courageous effort to give voice to the youth. She was a pioneer, and she still is a pioneer, because the work that she does at Cardiac Radio for Teens is unique. As far as we know, this is the first time that mass media effort has been made in giving power to the youth, and Bia has been that voice that has given that space for the youth in English for the Spiritist movement, as far as we know, for the first time. So heads off to Bia. And we have been honored to be in the behind the scenes supporting her efforts, right?
Yes.
To be part of her team, because she's leading it, and we are just following her lead. And what we have done has been complementary to her work. She has been working with the very foundation of this beautiful, liberating philosophy, life-changing philosophy, Spiritism. And what we have done is brought real life cases and accounts that bring to life the principles that she has been discussing with the youth. So let us give you some examples. We have worked with a book called The Diaries of Belinda and Alex. We have informally translated the book and done discussion sessions on the book, and the book focuses on the very same themes that our youth weekend is going to address, such as sexuality and relationships from an immortal perspective, from a reincarnatory perspective, from the perspective of the evolution of the soul. And we have done work with a book written through Chico Xavier, Messages from a Teen in the Spiritual Realm. We have worked with the book Obsession, which describes the process through which a beautiful teen and her family finds joy and spiritual freedom through their knowledge of Spiritism. And right now we are doing the work with Louis Hu's books for 15 cases of past lives. So we're bringing to life the foundation that Bia is working so beautifully with. And it's our honor to complement her beautiful work because we believe in the power of youth. Go
Yeah.
Bia!
Yeah. And if I may just say,
Beautiful.
if I may just say how consistent Bia is, I'm
Yes.
impressed.
She's a role model for us, by the way. Thank you, Bia.
I'm the one who edits the show, and I don't know, I check sometimes, I don't know, somehow miraculously that recording is available exactly when I need it to edit. It's something up there because we don't do anything, right? We don't coordinate.
Right.
It just somehow happens.
Yes.
So thank you, Bia, and thank you, mentors, for putting this show together.
Yes.
It's truly remarkable.
Thank you for
That's
being role
beautiful.
models for us. Yes.
Thank you, Karen, Mark. Thank you so much. And I would like now to invite our dear friend, Tiago, to
Hello,
join us. How are you, Tiago?
I'm great.
Can
How
you
are you?
tell us where you're coming from?
I'm coming from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, the Charlotte Spiritist Center, right?
And
So
yes,
tell us a little bit. I know you have been working with your father. Many people at Kardec Radio already know him, Haiti Patrick, but your whole family has been so engaged. And I remember when you came here in DC recently, and when we were there last year, since your center bought the headquarters, which was beautiful, and the effort. So being raised in a Spiritist family and being so engaged, can you tell us a little bit more about the works you've been participating there, Thiago?
yes, I'm part of the youth group, and in the Spiritist Center in Charlotte, we learned the guitar and music. She play in the mornings at Saturdays before our activities. I also take part of the Alta Gisoza, the campaign, every Saturday. I believe that I never missed a day ever since I was 4, I think,
Oh,
even back in Brazil. I love doing it every Saturday. Is I think it's one of the parts I love the most about the Spiritist Center, helping out actively and collecting food and helping those houses spiritually and physically.
is that what you like the most in Spiritism?
Yes,
Yeah. So you have siblings as well, right? Who are participating in these efforts, and do you feel they feel the same way?
yes, I do.
Uh-huh. And
My
go ahead.
was gonna say my older sister as well. We all bought guitars so we can practice at home. So she played the songs on Saturday.
Wow, that's beautiful. So, since you guys are coming here to the first International Spiritist Youth Weekend in July, do you plan on bringing your guitars?
Hopefully, but I just kind of started, so I'm not as good as my father, of course.
Oh, but bring the guitars, Tiago. Tiago, I want to bring here to our conversation our dear Livia D. Clay. She is 14 and she has been very active in the Spiritist youth.
Hello.
Right, Livia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. It's even better to have you here. And Livia, I was talking to Tiago about what he likes the most in Spiritism. You are 14. You are in the Toronto Spiritist Society
Yes.
in Canada, and your whole family is very, very active. Your father, Marcos, your mom, and the other groups, the other friends, Marco Magalhães, Sandra Mussi, Joe Mussi, so many friends. So can you tell us a little bit about what you like the most in Spiritism? Or what would you like to raise awareness regarding the power of Spiritist ideas?
Well, okay, this is going to sound a bit cheesy, but I like talking about the value of life because the facilitators at the TSS, the Toronto Spiritist Society, that teach the youth, they always engage us into talking about these kinds of topics. And I like to talk about the value of life because we learn that our life is very important and we shouldn't take it for granted, and that we are reincarnated in this life for a reason, and that there is no death. A lot of people, especially in my community now, there was a case where a girl committed suicide in our school, and she obviously wasn't aware that, there is no real death. But with spreading Spiritism to the youth and the teens, they can better, and to everyone, they can better understand that there is no real death, that life continues, and it could help give them hope that there is a better way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And just yesterday, Livia, as you're talking about the value of life, in the United States again, we had another shooting, a 17-year-old, committing this extreme action of violence. How do you, as a teen, going to school and being, in North America as well, how do you feel? What are the types of conversation that the teens have when such things happen?
It's scary to think that some people have the mentality to do something like that, but we know that we're in a safe place, and it's not something very common up here, but even when it happens in the United States, it's still really scary to think about it. And we know that it's probably something that's coming from, their mental health. It's not really the fact that the person committing the crime wants to kill for the purpose of killing. They probably just have something that is linked from a past life that has led them to be the way they are.
So thank you for sharing this. Do you believe, and Tiago as well, if you want to bring that up, and I'll bring also Bia with us for now, if you guys can just take the opportunity. We don't want to put you on the spot, but do you guys believe that Spiritism can be of help to this generation of mass shootings in school?
Yeah, I definitely think one of my favorite parts about Spiritism and reading the Spiritist books, one of the parts that I really like and stands out to me is the section about guardian angels and protector spirits, because we know that we have to face so many trials and so many challenges in this life, but knowing that we always have a protector spirit and mentor spirits that are there guiding us and helping us kind of gives you that consolidation that like you can do it and you will get through it, even if you feel alone. Like you have like spirits there helping you. So I feel like if more people knew that, so even when they felt alone, that they still always had someone with them, then that could be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to say something, Thiago, about it? Your thoughts and how people feel there in your age group as well?
Yes, I think that if they knew and studied Spiritism, they wouldn't feel as lonely or corrupt-minded or clouded in their visions, because they probably would feel more love and affection and knowledge, and they would know that how would they say it? That attacking or hurting others is never the answer.
Never the answer. And do you, Jag, Olivia, you believe like Spiritism could be resourceful or instrumental in changing this scenario regarding what's happening at that level?
Yes, for sure, because a lot of people nowadays are really selfish and they only think about themselves. And Spiritism will teach us that we need to be more aware of others, not just ourselves. And if we can spread that, more people will become aware of their actions and won't do things based off what they think is right or what they think they should do, not thinking about the lives of others that are at risk or other people's families.
Exactly. So it will potentially change the way we interact with one another in a more like fraternal way. And talking about it, I would like to keep you guys here, but also introduce two other friends who are here. First, our dear Luisa. Let me just bring Luisa here with us. She's from the same group as Bia Lopes, Luisa Gregorio. How are you, Luisa? Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm doing great.
And Luisa, you are also from Connecticut and you were born in the US. You're 16 now, right?
Yeah.
And we're just discussing how Spiritism can change our relationships. What for you in Spiritism has been, I would say, the most precious concept or the highlight for you?
I just really like the topic involving Allan Kardec because he wrote books based on different spirits' experiences and Jesus' teachings in a form of question and answers like the Spirits book. And I just find it interesting how he had a group of mediums, even youth mediums like our age, helping to write the books that we read till this day.
Yes. And, talking about the current scenario, we're just mentioning the mass shooting that happened yesterday in Texas and how your generation has been, especially in the US, through this challenge. Do you feel there's something that Spiritism can do to, reach out to to your generation?
I definitely think so because, like, with the help of Spiritism and being in a youth group, you really get to learn how to stay away from the bad and just not hurt others and to really just find the light of in this incarnation. Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I understand. And it's no different, friends. And Luis, I'll keep you there. But I want to bring here Adriana Diniz. She's from Brazil. And in Brazil, the reality is similar and different in many ways, right? And welcome, Adriana Diniz. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And Adriana, for those who are meeting her firsthand, she is from the very city of Peter Leopoldo in Minas Gerais, where Chico Xavier was born. So for those who are not acquainted, Peter Leopoldo is the city where Chico was born. Her aunt is Celia Diniz. She's currently touring in the United States. She's one of the the family. She comes from a family that was very close to Chico Xavier, right, Adriana?
Yeah, my grandmother, she used to be very close to Chico, and she's very important for our center where I go to. And he's like the symbol, I guess, for Brazil. He's like a representation of Spiritism in Brazil, Chico Xavier, and very, very happy to be part of this and to be able to learn the source directly from the source.
Exactly. And Adriana, I've come to know that you have been a spiritist all along, but you decided to work with the children. Though a teen, you also decided to be a spiritist educator as well, right?
Yeah, I've been teaching them since 2008, I guess. And it's perfectly because it's an honor to this. And I guess that I learn more from them than they learn from me because it's incredible to see how the kids now they are much better than my generation. They are much more respectful for the differences and how they are pure. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's adorable. And Adriana, do you believe, though, we were talking about a social critical moment that the US is living here, especially for the the teen generation, the mass shootings in schools, etc. And Brazil has other reality, but also some social issues that also affect the youth directly. So do you also see Spiritism as being a way to change the scenario, to empower the new generation, and make and transform our society and the society in Brazil as well?
Yeah, I read it because as a spirit and as I see my kids there, they have a different eye from the other, and they think more about the other, about their feelings, and how you can affect people's life. So I think being a spiritist, it makes you like it changes yourself and can make you change the other one. And I don't know, I think that's the way we see life, the way we live our lives, and how we feel responsible for our actions because we believe we have our free will, and everything we do, we have to face the consequences. So I think it's the most important thing that we think about as living as a spiritist.
That's beautiful. Right, Louisa, we're talking about this concept of social responsibility and the mix of social responsibility and free will, feeling like we really have a part in the whole. So being a spiritist and being part of such an active group on the way to the light in Connecticut, and I know you guys are about to do your fifth retreat. You want to talk a little bit about it?
Oh, yeah, sure. So this year, we're actually going to upstate New York for our fifth retreat. And we actually have a lot of different youth groups coming from the tri state area, like New Jersey, New York, we have Connecticut, and we have Massachusetts. And it's really exciting because our youth group really just loves bringing everyone together and sharing our experiences with Spiritism and just getting to know each other, even from different states.
Exactly. That's beautiful. And I just want to ask, I saw your dad, Livia, here saying because studying Kardec school, and I would like you also to share with us a little bit about, the the works that you have been doing there, a little bit about the videos you have done as well. You want to share, please?
Sure. So, the videos we have made are a collection of 4 videos so far, called the TSS Youth News, where we create these videos in order to spread some knowledge about Spiritism to the youth in a fun and engaging way. So the hashtag, because studying Kardec is cool, my dad came up with it when we first started our youth group 2 years ago. It was kind of a fun way to engage the teens, because it really is so fun, especially with the Spirits book, because any question you have, the answers are all there. And it's really fun to work with the group of people that we have. And yeah.
That's beautiful. You agree with that as well, Louisa, that it's cool to study Kardec?
Yeah, I definitely think it's cool. Ever since I was younger, we just always studied Kardec in our Spiritist Center, and we still love doing it.
So I'm just curious now, since you guys are talking about Kardec, because none of us met Kardec in this reincarnation, right? We cannot tell we've never met him, but we can tell in this reincarnation we haven't. So when you think of Kardec, like since in this reincarnation we haven't met, what comes to your minds? I would like to ask everybody. I'll bring everyone to the plate. So who would like to share first your feelings when you think of Kardec? Why is it cool? You have never met him in person in this life. So how is it?
Oh, you go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say that every time I think of Kardec, I just always think of the turning tables concept and how he really just co-piloted all these mediums just coming together and spirits speaking through the mediums, and then him just asking questions and writing it down. So I think it's really cool, especially in that time period too.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
When I
it's
think
fun,
of,
huh?
I'm sorry.
And you, Livia?
When I think about Kardec, the first word that pops into my head is the word enlightenment, because he really teaches us in all of his books. He teaches about anything that you really want to know. If you, like in the Spirits book, like I mentioned, if you have a question, the answer is always there. The Gospel is a collection of stories, which is fun because sometimes in our youth classes, the facilitators will take a passage from the Gospel and will read it to us. And I just feel like Kardec is such a cool topic to learn about because there's so much you can learn from him.
Yeah, it's amazing to think that a man, he was 57 when he was really engaged into this work, and he was working at that time in the 19th century with teenage mediums in such a beautiful synchronicity.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, there are many people who are even much younger, and they tell me, I can't work with younger people because we're too different. And Kardec was really at the vanguard of it all, really working ahead. So what a wisdom, right, Adriana? What do you feel in that regard?
Yeah, thinking about him, I always think about how hard was his work, how hard it was, and how bold he was. It was a different time and a different field. Of his career before, and he changed everything just to engage in spiritism. So I think it was very, very brave of him, and it gives me more courage to keep going in this.
You're right. You're right. That's so beautiful. And you, Tiago, how do you feel when you think of Kardec? What comes to you?
Wisdom, and courage. He was during the spinning tables, our other friend said, nobody else thought of going and speaking to the tables and asking some questions. And the wisdom, because who would have thought to write down stuff that a table told you? People think you're crazy. Yeah, and back then mediums were called mad people and crazy, and said they had mental illnesses. But he wrote them down and respected them and made books about them that taught us so much. And so I'm really thankful for that kind of spirit of Kardec.
You're right. And friends, we are here just a month, let me see, a month and a half almost, and 20 days away from the first International Spiritist Youth Weekend, which was, some people don't know, we launched the first flyer July, in the edition of the issue of the Spiritist magazine in July of last year. So it's been what, 3, almost 4 issues of the magazine that we have been announcing at Kardec Radio's program. But we were not able to really boost the dissemination of it because we focused on the U.S. Spiritist Symposium that just happened in DC. We wanted to prioritize at Kardec Radio the symposium first. And as soon as it ended, we started reminding people, look, we have a beautiful event coming up, and we want to tell the ones who are watching us. If you go to kardecradio.com, there is a banner. You click on the banner of the International Spiritist Youth Weekend, and you see the whole information about it all. It's all there. Mark Smith kindly laid it out as a webmaster, and it's there, all the information. And the beauty of it all is that on the 6th, which is a Friday, if you're going to be in DC, in the very Sheraton Hotel, we're going to have a reception, a greeting session. Not much, but a greeting session in the evening. And then on Saturday, the 7th, from 10 to 5, we're going to give all the news at the hotel for everybody who's participating, both the teens and the educators and parents, because we're going to have parallel workshops for parents and educators as well. And we're going to have very dynamic sessions. People are asking us, how is that going to work? We are not going to have actual talks, but we'll have workshops, 6 workshops based on the theme, Spiritist Youth Changing the World. And sub-themes, as you can see, it's about sexuality, leadership, social media, arts, leadership, in general, right? And in those lines, we're going to have team leaders in each session with adult facilitators. The team leaders will be preparing short presentations just to lead the sessions. And from there on, we are proposing that those workshops really create products, apps, websites, music, festivals, designing them all so we can launch it through Kardec Radio's efforts and other organizations if they partake. And from there on, it's going to be a work in progress. In the second part, which is going to be the afternoon, we plan on, besides other things, doing like a United Nations format of a session with all the youth that is going to come up to address several issues, practical issues, philosophical issues that they may be addressing as well. And then we stop at 5. And then there's this beautiful swimming pool. There's a lot of nature there. We're going to be offering dinner, and people can mingle, relax, because it's going to be summertime. The next morning, after breakfast, we take everybody to the core of Washington, D.C., the Ben Franklin Square Park, where we're going to do together the Festival of Charity. And we're going to have health professionals. We're going to have music. We're going to have psychological services to the homeless. And we're going to have all the teens, the parents and educators spread out serving in this Festival of Charity. And that's where we ended on July 8th. But let me ask you, do you guys know what July 8th is all about? Talking to Geraldo Lemos Neto, I've got to know. Thank you so much, Ana, for sharing here the link for the website. But July 8th, and there is an article that we have translated from Antonio César Pérez de Carvalho, who is the former president of the Brazilian Spiritist Federation. He wrote an article about July 8th. July 8th in Spiritism has been called the Day of Emmanuel. Why? The Spirit Emmanuel. Because Emmanuel, through Chico, wrote books, messages that came to publication. And usually they were done, for example, Paul and Stephen. Emmanuel finished the writing of Paul and Stephen through Chico Xavier on July 8th. Chico Xavier started psychographing his first Spiritist message in the Centro Espírita Luiz Gonzaga, where Adriana Diniz is from, on July 8th as well. And the first book published by the Brazilian Spiritist Federation, Parnaso de Além Túmulo, was also published on July 8th. So there are several reasons why July 8th is a specific date, very meaningful for us. And coincidentally or not, we didn't plan it out, it just coincided, but for sure it's a plan of the good spirits that we're ending this beautiful work of the festival on July 8th. So how do you guys, I'd like to start with Bia. Bia, you have been doing these works of Cardiac Radio for Teens for 2 years. And as Karen Marks said, you're so disciplined, so diligent. And I'm not saying this to praise you, but just really to commend you for your efforts, because doing radio work, it's not simple, because you not necessarily see the audience. So to keep up with the pace in spite of not seeing the audience is very challenging. And now we're bringing forth this international effort. The community is going to join together to work in the teen level. How do you feel about it?
I think it's really great to have even more people and even going international, because like we all start, and like we see here, like just the teams we have, each one's starting to do their own thing in their own centers, in their own communities. And I think we just have to keep growing that. And when we meet international people, start things internationally, start things even across the US like we're doing now. So I think it's a really great way to keep spreading it.
To keep spreading.
Yeah.
You when you start doing your work and you see that there are more people willing to join in, does it give you more encouragement to keep going? How do you feel? And I'm asking, it's not an obvious question, because sometimes people feel when others are coming, oh, it's my time to retire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you feel when you see others maybe joining in?
No, when I feel others joining in, it's great to know, because even though the work that I do, there's others joining in that can do something else. And if we all are doing one little thing ourselves, it's going to amount to be a big thing and a big movement that's coming along, because one person can't do that themselves. So the more people we have joining in, doing their own things, like Livia with her videos, the more things we have like that, the faster we'll be able to spread it and get more communities and more people in it.
Yes, and since you're talking about Livia, her father is here, and I have to read it, Livia, because your father is so exceptional. He says, we can only enable our youth to engage in meaningful activities if we parents do less for us and more for them. This is a powerful reflection to all of us, youth for a longer time. Right? How do you feel your father saying this, Livia?
My dad's a really inspirational person to me. He's influenced me in a lot of ways. And I think he has at our Spiritist Center too. He's always engaging the youth in different activities. He's the one who helped start our youth group. So he's just a really inspirational person to all of us.
That's great. And I know, Livia, you won't be able to join us because you have a prior commitment. So you won't be able to be here on this first international weekend. But when you heard about it, how did you feel?
I think it's an amazing way to spread Spiritism to the youth, because they're the ones who's going to help spread it to other people and teach them more about Spiritism, because, we have, like with social media and everything, we're able to spread more knowledge about Spiritism, because that's how we're going to get it around.
Olivia, since you were talking about this and your father stepped forward to saying that we adults should at some point do less for us and focus more, like giving more room to the youth, do you feel there's a whole lot more that can be done if we proceeding that way that your father said?
I think so, because there's so many other ways that we can spread Spiritism, like with Bia doing the Kardec radio. That's a great way to engage the youth in a fun way that's not boring to them. It's fun to know that, oh, there's another teen doing that, so maybe I could do something like that too, right? It's inspirational to others.
Yes. Thank you so much, Livia. And Tiago, when you've heard about the first International Spiritist Youth Weekend, what are your expectations regarding the event that you'll be attending?
Oh, I'm expecting it should be great. Like always, it's gonna be fun and good to see other young people
Yeah.
and talk about Spiritism.
That's wonderful. And we have here also, I want to bring in Luisa and Adriana to join us sharing, because Luisa, you're gonna be with us in the International Spiritist Youth Week, and you'll be helping as well. So how do you feel about it? What is your expectation?
I'm actually really excited to go just because like I love meeting new people and getting to learn about others' experiences with Spiritism. I also think it's a good way to spread Spiritism and get the word out there, just like the family Spiritist retreat that happens here in the tri-state, and also the camp retreat that happens with our youth group and others. Also, I went to one of the Spiritist symposiums in Sanford, Connecticut, so I just like expected it to be kind of like that, but I also really liked it too.
That's beautiful, Luisa. We're looking forward to having you here. You have such a beautiful smile. You're so enthusiastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. It's wonderful.
I'm glad.
Thank you. And Adriana, I know you only came to know recently about the youth event through your aunt, who was like, we were mesmerized by the talk that Celia Denise did at the Spiritist out of Virginia. She really touched our hearts. And then she was like, oh, let me tell Adriana to come. And finally you contacted us and you're here already. So I know you are making an effort to come. So you want to tell more about your expectations, your feelings?
Yeah, I got to know about it on Wednesday, I guess, and I was very, very excited about it because I really didn't know about how strong the youth was in US. The Spiritist youth was in US. We don't heard about it a lot here, so I get very excited about it, and I'm making a huge effort to go because I have to take my visa. I even have passport, so I'm trying to plan my trip to there, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a great experience for all the youth there. Even though I'm not so youth as them, so young as them, it's going to be a great experience. So I'm making my best to go there. I think it's gonna be great.
That's beautiful. We'll do our best to help you out so you can come, because it's gonna be great to have you here helping as well, and Adriana. Okay, and Kara and Mark are here, and they just helped us with the information that I forgot to mention. So I wanna ask them to come in and tell about this great thing that we can't forget to share, right, Kara and Mark? Oh, hold on a sec. Okay, come on in and tell us right now.
It's a remarkable experience.
Yes.
The first 50 youth, hi Louisa, the first 50 youth that submit an entry to our $1 million question, Youth Changing the World, can win 2 nights at the Sheraton Hotel for free. It cannot get any better than that. So please join us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I was thinking, if you allow me to share,
Sure.
I was thinking more than 100 years ago, Kardec put together a group of very young ladies such as yourselves and changed the world. Imagine now, more than 100 years later, when such a group of very powerful young people get together. Imagine what we can do if Kardec did that much more than 100 years ago. Imagine what you guys can do now, really. We believe in you.
Yeah, we have the internet.
Yes.
Right.
Just typewriters.
Yes. We believe in you.
And you know, I want to share something, because when you mention about the hotel, I know we are Spiritists and we have wonderful people who have been asking us, Vanessa, we don't want to take the rooms from other people who may need it.
Right.
I say, please, right now, don't worry about it.
You deserve it.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
What do they need to do? They go there. You want to explain, Mark, what they need to do?
Yeah, well, you go to the website, and it's an open interpretation of the theme, Spiritist Youth Changing the World. You're open to any type of media that you want to use. And what's exciting about this contest is that you're going to be producing something that will have a long-lasting impact.
Yeah.
So, it can be a video, it can be a poem,
it can be a drawing.
It can be a drawing.
Yeah.
It can be, anything you're thinking of, photography, if it speaks to you. Whatever that is, that would capture the essence of this theme. And think about it, at the end of this contest, you're not only getting yourself a couple of nights stay at a hotel, but it's more important you're giving something that's going to have a lasting impact on the Spiritist movement for youth for years to come. So that's the idea.
Thank you, Mark. And I want to remind people the following. Look, if let's say the 51st got their spot, and more people are kind of like, don't worry, we're not going to leave you alone. But we need that you go and take your space. Why? Because we're going to pay for the rooms no matter what. So don't pay it yourself. We have to pay it in our budget. Okay? The spirits have asked us to make it all the more accessible to the youth, because they have a plan that they get together, and we're just trying to facilitate.
So think about it this way, right, Vanessa? The spirit mentors are investing in the youth. It's not us, it's the spirit mentors. So you're helping the spirit mentors.
Exactly. So go there, do your creative interpretations, and I tell you, what you are going to do, we will potentially ask you to publish in the Spiritist magazine, to publish at Kardec Radio as well. So it's much more than just getting the room. You're also contributing to the share. You don't have to publish it, but if you feel like it, and we do too, we can. So there's so much work that is going on from the get-go. And we would say at this point, if people ask me, Vanessa, Carol, Mark, what do we need to do? If you are a teen and you want to join in, you just write to us at kardecradio@gmail.com. We'll lead you through the process of getting we have a committee, an online registration committee, who is taking care. Lea Severo in Florida is leading that committee, taking care, making sure that you get the information that you need, the registration, the process. But if you also want to work on the behind the scenes as an adult or as a teen, at any point, there will be a meeting coming up Saturday, June 2nd at 11 a.m. Just write to us at kardecradio@gmail.com. Those who are already here in the forum, they will be receiving an email because they were already invited to join in this organizational step. But if you are listening to this firsthand, just send your message saying you're willing to partake, and we'll make sure that you join us as well, because we're still shaping up the event, right, Karen Mark?
Right, and it's taking beautiful shape thanks to you guys.
Yeah,
you're giving power to this event. This event is yours. It's your voice that we want to hear.
And this is
Yeah, go
I was
ahead,
just gonna
Mark.
say it's important to emphasize this is a youth-centered event. So the workshops will be youth-led, youth-driven, focused on. It's not going to be like sitting there watching PowerPoints. It's going to be very interactive,
Yeah.
very engaging, and parents are welcome to attend as well. There'll be parallel workshops for parents, and we're also inviting anyone who wishes to facilitate and also to contribute to our funds. They're welcome to go to kardecradio.com /spiritist-youth to find out more information about that.
Thank you so much, Mark. And right now, I would like to just before I pass the word, one last round to everyone who is participating here. Just would like to remind that this June 2nd meeting is the one in which the team leaders who were invited and who want to come as well, they can join us to shape up these sessions. That's the day, okay? And it's a month away. We have like the schedule, the main program. Now we're shaping it up. So educators and teams are welcome to join us. Just write to us at kardecradio@gmail.com. You'll be receiving an email. If you are in another country, you will receive our Skype name, so you can join through Skype. But now I would like to pass the word one last time, hoping that on June 9th, another June 9th date, we're going to be together for the second Spiritist online Spiritist youth forum as well. So I will begin with Livia. Livia, I'll pass the word to you if you want to make a final comment to those who are listening and watching to us at Kardec Radio. Please.
Joining this event will be an amazing experience because everyone will be able to share their knowledge. You'll be able to learn new ideas. You'll meet new people. And it will just be a great experience for everyone who joins there because we'll be able to do more than what we already are doing in order to spread the message of Spiritism.
Thank you so much, Livia. And we look forward to more of you here at Kardec Radio as well, okay?
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, and thank you. Thanks to your father and mother and the Toronto Spiritist Society for supporting you as well. Now, Louisa, please share your final thoughts just for today. Hoping to see you very soon again.
Okay. To any teens or parents of teens, please come. I guarantee it's going to be so fun. I guarantee that Carol and Mark and Vanessa are going to make this the best, especially with teen leaders. So please come join us in Washington, D.C.
Thank you so much, Louisa. We look forward to seeing you and your family as well, of course. Right?
Yep.
And you, Tiago, you and your father and your mother and your siblings. Tell us a little more that you want to share with those who are here at Kardec Radio, please.
I'm really excited for the event on June, and I can't wait. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so very much for being with us as well, okay, Tiago? And I want to bring here Adriana to share her thoughts as well. The final thoughts, Adriana, for those who are watching us. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. The internet here is not so good. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity. It's going to be a great youth weekend. I think young people here, they should get there because it's going to be a great experience. I think they are going to learn and they're going to produce a lot. So that's it. Being a part of this, it's going to be amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adriana, and we'll do our best, hoping that everything happens so you can join us as well. And finally, here, Bia, Kardec Radio. You're the face of Kardec Radio for teens, and hopefully a team will join you in the very near future so you guys can do much more at Kardec Radio. So, what are your final thoughts for today?
I think that it's great in any form we can to just come together as Spiritist youth, because we are in big like adult communities of Spiritists, but there's so many of us youth that it's important for us to come together, and this is a great opportunity for us to come together. And also, if anyone wants to help with Kardec Radio for Teens, they can join that too, because the more the merrier, and we can always be working on something together.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And you know, as you're saying, the more the merrier, I have to say this, and I'll bring Karen Mark here to the plate so we can wrap up. You know, I know it can be a little bit different, but there is a song that is like this: the more we get together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. Right? And that's the
My
right,
friends
Mark.
are your friends, and your friends are my friends. Yes.
That's the spirit, right? Karen Mark, you're the ones with the final word for today.
Oh my.
Oh, what an honor. We are looking forward to seeing you guys, the youth, taking the forefront of the Spiritist movement, as did the mediums at Kardec time. Kardec already opened the pathway literally for you, and you have been left in the margins of the movement for too long. So we truly believe in you and are counting on you to come forward and claim a space that is yours with your voice and your belief. And we know that you can literally change the world.
That's
So thank you for the gift of you.
That's beautiful. The only thing I would add is just visit the website, go to Kardec Radio's YouTube page, because there we have a video that you can share.
Yes.
Because we need a little promotion, get people in, so that they see this. We can share this video too, probably as much as we can.
The video is right there on the comments.
Yeah, there's a link.
Spread the word.
So spread the word. That's what I'd say.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And here we have Alan Montanari from Tampa, who is willing to help as well. He's still young, though he's above the cutoff, but he's going to be helping at the event. Thank you, Alan. He says, empowered hearts like yours will build the new era of brotherhood on earth. Grateful to be tuned. So thank you, Alan. Thank you, everybody. Luciana Liconiello is here. Go youth. The future's in your hands, and we believe in youth. Right, Luciana? So as Mark and Carol said, and everyone from Bia to Lívia, Tiago, Adriana, Luisa, friend, Karen, Mark, this is just the first Spiritist Youth Forum. And you've got a feeling, right? You've got a feeling.
Yes, there's much more coming.
It just feels wonderful.
Yeah,
as Marcos de Clay said so wisely, let us do a little more or a lot more for the youth, or with the youth. Let them come, as Jesus said, from the first days, and the world will be so much better, so more youthful, so much lighter. So friends, thank you for joining us today, and we hope to see you soon again for the second Spiritist online Spiritist Youth Forum on June 9th at 11 a.m. Everything is a preparation for the first International Spiritist Youth Weekend on July 6th to 8th. Just go to kardecradio.com, get to know more information. Big hug to all of you. Gratitude to everybody who participated, and many blessings.
Thank you so much for having us today.